Hello and welcome to the Hudson Valley Business Scene, brought to you by the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce. I'm Frank Castella Jr., President and CEO of the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I'm so pleased to welcome today Mayor Robert Rolison of the City of Poughkeepsie.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you for coming and joining us today.
My pleasure to be here with you. And actually, we have kind of seen each other the past 2 days, like 3 or 4 times, which is always good.
We have, and you know, you've been doing such a tremendous job here in the city of Poughkeepsie. You're on the job now, just coming 8 months, and is it what you expected?
It is, but it's also a lot more. You know, I think that, you know, my expectations were to, you know, get into a position where you had the opportunity to interact with a lot of individuals and organizations. No doubt that I've been doing that. Also having the opportunity to, you know, confront and look at the challenges that the city has. We've been doing that. But I think the one thing that I would say, and it's not necessarily that I wasn't prepared for it, it was the enormity of what it is to be a mayor. And until you're actually really in that position to know, you know, exactly all of the things that you're going to confront and have to address, until you're actually doing it, you know, you don't know it.
Has your vision for the city of Poughkeepsie changed since becoming mayor?
No, it really hasn't, because, you know, living in the city for 25 years and being in the greater Poughkeepsie area my whole life, you know, the vision that I spoke about during the campaign of a safer and a cleaner and a stronger Poughkeepsie is what we're working on every day. And I think when you tackle those first 2 obstacles of public safety and cleanliness, everything else just kind of follows along with it. But I guess you could say that, you know, does the vision change a little bit? I guess maybe it could, but I'm sticking to those basic themes because that is moving us in the right direction.
You've brought a whole new level of experience, different experience to city government. Coming from a law enforcement background, also being in the county legislature for so many years, being chairman of the legislature for so many years, you've got a lot of connections in having all those positions and experience throughout the years. Have those connections helped you, and what are some of those connections that have really helped bring the city to the next level?
Well, I've been lucky, you know, if you're blessed, really, quite frankly, with a career in public service, you know, starting out as a volunteer fireman, you know, with my dad, is both together members of the Croft Corners Fire Company, and then, you know, becoming a police officer in the town of Poughkeepsie for 26 years, and then, you know, getting into the other part of public service as an elected official, which was something I didn't really plan on, and it happened, and I'm glad that it did, because now we wouldn't be sitting here together if it hadn't. But what you get to do is you get to establish relationships / connections. And having these relationships and having these friendships, having this trust and working together, it's been very helpful to the city and to me personally to know that, you know, I'm not doing this alone. And then, you know, the 338 workers in the city of Poughkeepsie who are out there working hard every day and working with the city council. So it's all about relationships, and I think that's your point.
And I think one of the most important relationships that you have and experiences that you've brought to the table is your law enforcement background.
Right.
And I know that the city has been concerned about safety and security. A lot of the businesses are concerned about the safety and security of the city. And almost immediately, there was a change in the city. Can you talk about what you changed right away?
So I come from law enforcement. I care deeply about these officers and what they go through in being a cop, and they know that I feel that way because I talk to them all the time about it. And the community respects this police department, and they love seeing them on the street. You know, they're out of the cars as much as they can. We're trying to get the officers back on the bikes, but we lost our community policing unit due to attrition. Don't have the manpower that we once had. But the visible presence of police officers is a very reassuring and calming, has a calming effect on people in a certain area. You can't change that because they want to see police officers on the street, standing there, talking to one another, interacting to the public, and that is what we're doing as much as we can in the Central Business District, and I know people have said, just like you did, that's making a difference.
One of your great campaigns has been the Buzz is Back. And it is back. I've been stung.
Thanks. I'm glad you have been.
There's a lot of talk about First Fridays and some of the initiatives that you're bringing now to just draw attention to the city of Poughkeepsie, its architecture, the businesses that are here, the restaurants, and the life that's here, the good quality of life and everything we have to offer. Can you talk a little bit about First Fridays and what that does for Poughkeepsie?
Getting people downtown, which is central, because our central business district is the core of the city. And to get people downtown, to hang around on a Friday, Friday is generally kind of a party night, where people, after a long week at work, would want to go out and grab a bite to eat, maybe have a drink someplace or go visit an art gallery, do something social. So to encourage that is important for the city, because we have all those things to offer. And what I have heard from people that have done it, they're like, wow, we're going to come back. So I think it's important for us to, continually highlight the city, market the city, advocate for the city, and all the good things that are going on in it, because, there are a lot of people who just don't feel that way. You got to get them here, and then they're going to change that mindset that, I don't know if I want to go into Poughkeepsie in the evening or whatever, because I've heard that too. So it's important. It is important.
So Poughkeepsie has such a rich history, and there's so much more potential. What are some of the projects that you're most excited about? I know there's so many projects on the verge of happening right now and that are under construction or in the works of approval processes. Maybe they're waiting for financing. Sure. What are the most exciting projects for you right now?
Well, I think for all of us to see things rising up, and the potential of the other areas of the city, which will benefit from that. So right now, you've got activity at the waterfront. It's the area that has the best chance to develop probably the quickest, because it is a waterfront. We've got the assets of a train station, of a beautiful Hudson River, 2 bridges, 500,000 people going across the walkway every year. So you've got the water club, literally rising up from the ground as we speak. The O'Neill Dutton project, which is just north of the walkway, is ready to go, planning board approval. The Ken Carney and his development, Queen City Lofts at Main and Bridge, approval, ready to go. Probably breaking ground early next year. And so once those things start to happen, the optimism and the kind of re-energizing city starts to really take off, and success breeds success. But as you see these things happening, there is a sense of excitement that everybody feels, and I'm excited about just talking to you about it.
Mayor Rolison, on behalf of the community and the business community, thank you for your service to us. I know you've been in civil service your entire life, and
Pretty much,
thank you enough for everything that you've done for us here. I also want to thank our listeners and our viewers for tuning in today, and thank you for tuning in to the Hudson Valley Business Scene.